The CNN Skirmishes, meme insider collaboration by the internet historian. It's a bridge article from meme insider. Oh no. Oh no.
More on the allegations that CNN blackmailed the user who created the anti-CNN Trump wrestling video.
So the Reddit user behind the Trump CNN body slam video is apologizing.
I've watched with sadness how the Cox News Network has tried to trample over our freedom of expression.
And they decided that they could get their pound of flesh from this individual.
July 2nd, 2017.
Oh, fuck. So, for clarification, we're not getting political in this one. I will refrain from comment if it gets political.
Trump is browsing Twitter for some memes. He sees this one and hits retweet.
Oh my god, I remember that! Oh, I remember this! Oh no!
Over 500,000 likes, and many, many more hurt feelings by CNN. As grown adults, how can they let it rest? They don't.
Yeah.
They get their top investigator, your boy, Andrew Kaczynski, on the case to find the creator of the GIF.
Why do I remember Andrew Kaczynski? I'm thinking of Ted Kaczynski. Who is Ted Kaczynski? I can't remember. Why does that name sound familiar? I'm really not placing it right now.
July 4th. CNN had found their man, user Han Asshole Solo.
Legend. That's like the Unabomber. Thank you. Okay, that's why I'm remembering him in a different light. Oh my god, that's like the GameStop situation and potato in my ass. It's great.
CNN was able to scour through his Reddit history to find his personal Facebook. What followed was an ultimatum: delete everything or be doxed. In exchange for his anonymity, Han Asshole Solo purged his Reddit history and issued an apology to CNN.
Wait, you can't do that though. What? I don't think you can do that. That's like if I made a Bungie review video, right? Or made a meme, being like shit posting Bungie help on Twitter, and Bungie coming down and just like, you need to your Destiny 2 account is now banned and your Destiny 1 account is now banned, and we need you to delete every single comment you said about it. Like, that's, I mean, so I guess, and I'm treading lightly here, I guess it does come down into the interpretation of freedom of speech as well as TOS and ULAs, because that's a weird one. Because freedom of speech protects you from governmental entities. Although technically, even then, that's to a degree. Like, you can't say, I want to do X harmful thing to Y public figure, because they can arrest you for that. Because that's showing intent. Understand, chat, I'm having to tread really lightly here. But if it's a private entity, like if you went on Twitter X right now and were to just slang shit at Elon Musk, technically there are repercussions for that, and he can just ban your Twitter X account. He can do things, but to a degree, right? I really need to see how this gets resolved, because that is definitely in a gray area though, and I feel like judges and lawyers have to weigh in on that at that point.
From here on out, he was a hostage. In light of this, CNN issued a statement. CNN is not publishing Han Asshole Solo's name because he is a private citizen who has issued an extensive apology. CNN reserves the right to publish his identity should any of that change.
I would argue incorrect. If anything, that might open CNN up to liability and potential litigation. I don't think that's how that works.
Now, CNN had squashed the one who had stung them, but in doing so, they had stirred up the hive.
Oh, absolutely. See, here's the thing, is that CNN had to have known this would have happened. Like, just even politics aside, right? This is a big business, a big news company, corporation even, coming down on a single individual for self-expression. That's not going to go over well. I don't know what their legal team was thinking, or their PR or HR team. Holy shit.
4chan was not about to let Han Asshole Solo be silenced in vain.
4chan gets involved.
To create so many CNN memes that tracking down any single target would be pointless.
This is why I am terrified of 4chan. I have a very healthy respect and terror for 4chan. They are just built different.
July 5th. Their operation was a multi-stage assault. First, there was an alliance. an agreement
Yeah.
between former frenemies. The second was a constant barrage of meme artillery. The third stage was to target the money that funds CNN by contacting their advertisers directly.
And that's how you do that, actually. In a situation like that, so say if a big company is making really bad decisions, you can go can I even advise? I'm not advising this. I am stating that people have done this in the past. So, for example, a big controversy right now at the time of this streaming and filming, right, is the Linus Tech Tips fiasco. If you haven't, I definitely recommend doing your research on that, as I feel this will, however this is resolved, have implications for the entire industry and how things can be handled. I do think this is going to have lasting effects. However, there have been people that are looking at the sponsors of this who partner with Linus Tech Tips, and from my understanding, they're even starting to go after them. Another situation was Artesian Builds, but Artesian Builds kind of made their own bed in that sense, because Artesian Builds had the famous, infamous giveaway incident. And was it NVIDIA or was it Intel that kind of stepped in and said, we don't support this? Understand that with big entities and big business ties, one wrong move can start affecting the brand image of all these other things. So hypothetically, if CNN does something that's incredibly controversial, if CNN does something with, does something that's just not going to look well, all these brands suddenly are going to have legal and, probably legal, honestly. I would assume that's who they could have. Well, maybe if it's escalated in a particular capacity. All these brands now have grounds to contact and go, hey, fuck you doing, right? It's kind of why I champion companies like Activision Blizzard and Activision, however they're split, right? Why all these people that are giving them the money, the shareholders and investors, should be the ones in the chairs instead of the community heads, right? For this exact reason. Because if you liken the two, now you see that the bottom line, the funding and money is getting affected, and thus things will get done. That's at least from an apolitical standpoint and a factual, citable standpoint, what happens when you have a company that your company, brand, etc., you're partnered with do something, then suddenly there's a ripple effect to all your partners.
The early strikes launched at CNN were through Twitter, the first making the hashtag CNN Blackmail trending for many to see.
That'll get their attention,
and
yeah.
the second, getting prominent figures to tell everyone that CNN's hostage was a 15-year-old boy.
Ooh.
Even Donald Trump's own son tweeted out that the person threatened by CNN was only 15. The only way CNN can then counter this accusation was by releasing the information they had on him.
Oh, fuck. That is a check move. Oh, God, that is brilliant, actually. Oh, that is dirty. Because then they release his identity to the public. Oh, no.
Which would then result in possible legal ramifications
Yep.
and them being attacked further from all sides.
Yep.
Meanwhile, every forum, every feed, every platform was being flooded with CNN memes. As the situation escalated, Kyrgyzstani forces went about attacking the only thing that CNN really cares about: its ratings.
Oh.
The strategy was simple. First, download the CNN app.
Oh, no.
Then rate it 1 star, then delete. Wanting to keep up the
Ratioed.
pressure, Alex Jones and Paul Joseph Watson created the first...
This might actually get copyrighted. Because, factually, I've had content that has clips from Alex Jones get completely just flagged from YouTube. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. All I'm saying is factually, I've had clips from him actually get taken down in the, well, it's baked into the video, right? Like, for a funny meme or whatever, right? I'm not claiming affiliation. I'm not claiming sides in this one. I am tiptoeing around that as best as I can.
Meme contest. $20,000 to whoever made the meme they liked the most about CNN.
Oh, no.
In the past, internet polls and contests were destroyed by 4chan shitposting.
Bodie McBoatface.
But now, an actual contest was born specifically for that purpose. July 6th. Reports started coming in by reputable media sources that were covering and condemning the meme war. This attention only emboldened the forces of 4chan and Reddit, but while some were celebrating, others were scheming.
Yeah.
Already there were rumors suggesting that CNN had got the wrong guy. Could it be possible that this whole thing was started from a mistake?
This is an awful look for their public image. This is bad.
No, This was just more clever disinformation.
Right. But it's still
manufactured
so it's the court of public opinion, right? How we did the Balloon Boy video, and it ended up being, wasn't it the conclusion that this wasn't meant to be a hoax, but the court of public opinion had already said, oh no, he did it. He's clearly guilty. And that actually swayed the courts and decisions following that. The court of public opinion, informed or misinformed as it may be, is an incredibly vital thing you have to take into consideration.
Fog of confusion, one final long-term plan was hatched. Thousands of undercover anons would begin using universal remotes to change public televisions off of CNN.
Nice.
To further hurt their ratings.
That's
July
wow.
12th. A full week passed and new developments were scarce. CNN has seemingly been busy on damage control, having app stores suppress bad reviews. Publications that stand in solidarity with CNN have been churning out articles condemning troll behavior and echoing the claim that people who make GIFs don't deserve anonymity.
So, I don't know about that one. So, I mean, we see this in modern day, right? You know, with Blizzard, currently with Overwatch 2, factually, at the time of this, the most disliked game on Steam in Steam's history. Was it about 9% last I checked? It could have gone down even further. So, is it ethical to, one, review bomb something? Counterpoint, is it ethical to remove reviews that fit the criteria for being a legitimate review? It's at 6% now. Oof, yeah, they're getting calls from investors at this point. I would feel comfortable saying that they have definitely had investors and shareholders call them saying, "What the fuck is happening? Why is our brand going down?" Right? I digress though on that point. Right? Is it ethical to shitpost and make a review bomb, or is it ethical to remove the reviews, right? Which can further be detailed in, you know, is it ethical in trying to respond to a company who has repeatedly denied trying to communicate or make things better in the way that you do review bomb them, because it's the only metric they seemingly care about, versus the company choosing to still have a blind eye regardless of, you know, what people are, you know, what your influencers and content creators are saying, what public perception is, right? With all these being negative and them still choosing to, nah, bro, we're still going to go this route. Is that ethical as well? There's entire trees of just ethics and logic you can go with here. And I don't necessarily think without a 3-hour piece that I would have to research, right? A debate with people whose, specialist this is, I don't think we can really come to an answer here. And I do encourage everyone, please, please leave everything apolitical, whatever stance you're on. I'm not here to be politics. I'm here we can have hard discussions, and certain things, absolutely, we can look at both, if not multiple sides of an argument and have it not degenerate. It's more of I'm bringing this up for your consideration, viewer, right? Some things that maybe you have thought about, some things that maybe you have not thought about, bringing information to the table to encourage you to do further research and further encourage further understanding in the subject for you to make an educated opinion and stance, right? That's all I'm here for. I will always champion, please do your research. Feel free to do your research and come to your own educated conclusions.
The most salient example of these publications is MTV, as they are now in production of a spin-off to their Catfish TV series.
Oh boy.
Except it will focus 100% on doxing people who like to have fun on the internet.
No.
Soon, on primetime television, you will see someone have their post history, real name, location, and face doxed on camera.
Remember that we had, it was back in 2013 and stuff, how everyone was just like, oh, the FBI is watching, all these agencies are watching, cover your webcam, right? And honestly, I still know people who still kind of cover their webcam to this day. But then there's the other side of the argument that we've hit approximately, I think circa 2016 or so, 2015, 2016, where it's like, look, the FBI is clearly watching me. I might as well give them a show while they're watching me. And it's just been so funny to see to understand that our information is just out there and easily accessible. There's entire sites that their whole thing is to access cameras from all over. You could go to a site. I don't know what the site is specifically. I'm sure enough YouTubing and research could actually yield results, right? But you can look at public traffic cameras or cameras that are maybe on an open network, so you can just see into some random's backyard. I don't necessarily advise this because I feel that would be an invasion of privacy. But with the internet, the age of the internet, where it's at, right? And the development of the internet, what tools we have, stuff like that is completely out there and available for just your average internet user, right? You don't necessarily need an onion router, you don't need necessarily any VPNs, anything like that. I mean, It's one of those that the information's clearly out there. You don't throw caution to the winds, right? The argument of, oh, well, my information's out there, so I'll just leave my credit card number out there. No, don't do that. Please don't do that, right? Do what you can to make sure that you're securing your finances in the way that you best deem fit. And if you have any questions, please consult a financial advisor and someone who's able to speak on that subject further in terms of security. However, we're just at this point where a lot of people just don't give a shit, and it's just like, cool, Mr. FBI agent, you get to see all this. It's the, oh god, there was a movie. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna rub my belly, that kind of thing with your webcam open.
So how this story ends could be up to you.
I don't even know.
As any one of us might be next.
Oh, absolutely. Well, MTV's dead now, right? So that's a moot
What
point.
will be the aftermath of this meme war? What's next for Han Asshole Solo and the Kekistani army? All of this and more on the next issue of Meme Insider.
Oh my god, the internet is a time. I'm curious if we actually got a follow-up to this. I don't know if we did. Most of this, well, and there's no way that there's no way their legal department looked at this and signed off on this. There's no way. I refuse to believe their legal department was like, oh yeah, no, there's nothing you need to worry about here. Everything is completely fine. This will have no repercussions. I kind of question if they even passed the bar exam at that point, actually, if they did sign off on that, like, wow. Or I guess it's just not understanding how the internet is at that point in time. Well, I don't know. I'm curious. What was the follow-up to this? If you happen to know the follow-up, or can maybe, if Internet Historian did another follow-up, I'd be very, very welcome to understanding what the follow-up on that was. Remember, please keep things apolitical. This is one of those that, we're just looking at. I've presented the information. Do your research, make your own educated conclusion from there. But I digress. Thank you everyone for watching. If you're on the React channel, I'll see you in the next one. If you are on the stream, bear with me for just a second.